Alright, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And I'm coming to you with a series of video presentations for the Rankin Technical College AWD Application and Web Development 1111 .NET Framework with Web Databases class. And I'm just about finished with Chapter 6 of our text, ASP.NET MVC with Entity Framework and CSS by Mr. Lee Naylor. We have about 4 pages to go. And the author mentions earlier in the chapter we modified the views products create CS.html and views products edit.cs.html files. The code of them is almost identical apart from the fact that the edit view contains a hidden ID element. You've already seen the concept of using a layout page in chapter 1, but ASP.NET MVC also allows you to specify partial views to reuse inside other views to help prevent code repetition. To finish this chapter, we're going to create a partial view to contain all the code shared between the products create and products edit views, then refactor these 2 views to use the new partial view. All right. Quite a bit of code in here, believe it or not. And we're talking about like 4 pages. So to create the new partial view, right-click on the Views Shared folder and select Add View from the menu. So go to the Views Shared folder, right-click, choose Add, View from the menu, set the view name to _ product edit create partial. _ product edit create partial. Set the template to empty. Well, we've got empty without model. They want it just empty, so there it is. Set the model class to product view model. bs2.models. And the data context class to blank. Also ensure that the create a partial view and reference script libraries are both checked. Click the Add button. The new partial view will be created and will contain nothing but the model directive at the top of the page. Update the file as follows so that it contains the code shared between the create and edit views. So first, get rid of that. All right, come back to the book here. I'm going to have to make a change to that line. Mine will have to say BS2, but that's still fine. So again, this will be BS2. There we go. All right, try to clean this up quickly. pretty good right there. Now there's a lot on the next page that I'm going to have to copy in as well. Most of the next page, most of page 181. So all of this. So again, looks like I've got it all here. Right mouse click, copy. I'm going to paste it in and quickly clean it up. All right, you know, you can sure tell where I stopped because how nice it looks and how bad it looks here. So like I said, this will all be cleaned up in a matter of moments. Normally I wouldn't have you watch me clean this up, but there's not that much to do in here. There is, nope, that's the beginning of the div. These have to be moved over. That's the end of that div and the end of that div. Okay. And as you can see again, as mentioned previously, these are just spacing kind of goofy things. All right, here. I have been told by many of my students that I'm way too anal about this stuff, and they're probably correct. Trying to hurry it up here. As you can see, there's not too much left. That should do it. Okay. Again, as always, let's save. Next, we need to update the two views to use the partial view. First, modify the views products create as highlighted in the following code. So the create dot the products create SCHTML. So model line here, view bag equals create. We want that to be create product. We've got here, that should be an at viewbag.title. Alright. Our using HTML form line, anti-forgery token, etc. Div horizontal. After the validation line here, with the validation summary, etc. Everything I've got here in this div down to the back to the list, all of that can be removed. And in fact, I'm just going to grab this right here, and I'm going to copy down to the bottom. Copy. Alright, that's basically everything. Now we have to update the edit pretty much the same way. So let me save this. Alright, let me bring up the edit, which should now say here edit product. And this should say add viewbag.title. Alright. Again, after the summary, we can virtually remove everything else that's in here, and I'll copy the other stuff over. So there's our summary. So we've got to everything that's on here, copy. Okay. And then finally, on the next page here, this stuff. Alright. Again, let's do a save all. Just because we can, let's do a build solution. And the author says here, if you start the project without debugging and open the product's create and edit views, you will see they appear and function exactly the same as before. Well, let's double check that. Alright, so we want the create and the edit views. So let's open up, first we'll do the create, and we'll view this in the browser. And it looks a little funky here. I'm not sure why, but it does. So we have to maybe see if we can straighten that out. And I'm wondering if the edit is going to look the same way. Well, it doesn't like that. So let's go back to this one. This I have to clean up. So name I lost it. Is that just the size? I don't know. There we go. That looks funky there. So the description and the category both look funky, and the rest of it looks like it's okay. So why would that be? Well, it would have to be in here. Okay. And it might be in, somehow I've goofed this up. I didn't think I did, but let's try the running the edit, and let's view that also in the browser. And it looks the same as it did before. Alright, we should be able to also go back to the list. There we go. Again, looks a little funky because of the size thing. If we, depending on the type that you're using, etc. So, can we edit? Yes, we can. But again, that looks bad. I have to see if I can fix that. I don't know why that would have done that, but it did. Details. That looks good. Delete. That looks fine. But in edit, edit is where it looks wrong. And I think create new would also look funky, and so we have to fix those. Let's very quickly just look at the product here and see if I somehow goofed anything here up, and then we'll put this chapter to rest. I wouldn't think that the fact that I have this over multiple lines would hurt anything or would cause it to be funky in any way, but you never know. Alright. And I'm just going to keep doing this. This should mean absolutely nothing. That was wrong. Okay. That's on a new line. Yeah. Well, sorry about this. I think what I'll do is, as I have been doing, is I'll pause, clean this up, and then come back. Alright, that took just a couple minutes to clean that up. As you can see, it looks basically now like it did in the book. However, I don't think that when I save this and run it, I don't think it's going to look any different. Yeah, I don't see any reason that this is going to look any different now. But, in fact, let's run it. Let's do that. And we'll try to run it and see. Maybe it had something weird to do with the fact that I viewed it in the browser. Again, I don't think that's the case. So there's the products create. Let that load, and then look at the edit. No, it's goofed up. You can see that it's way, way the heck off. I don't like that, but I'm not going to take the time right now. All I can think of, like I said, is there's an error or there's something weird in that partial file. The only other thing I can do that would make any sense whatsoever would be to go to the master. All right. Again, this is not the idea behind doing this. Where do we put this? View shared folder. And if we look at this partial, oops. I'm just going to grab their partial and replace mine with that. If I did something wrong, I did something wrong. Alright, so that's been replaced now. Let's try to run it again. Over the View Products page. Okay. But we want the products edit. Fantastic. Underscore product edit create partial. Underscore product edit create partial. Okay. Oh, I wonder if it's this. This has got to be BS2. Alright, save one more time. Run the program one more time. Sorry. And I've got to quickly do my end of chapter summary as I've been doing too. So let's go over here to products. Edit. Oh my goodness. Okay, according to this, it's still using the word baby store in here someplace. It says I can't find it. Fantastic. Let's do this. I'm going to try to put mine back in there. Wish I wouldn't have, you know, again, it was good intentions, but I wish I wouldn't have touched this. If for some reason it's still broken when I go to products here, and I go to edit and create. Now I know that this, if mine is back here now, let's give it a number. Well, while that sits and spins and thinks about what it's doing, let's finish up the chapter. Alright. Although the code can be created by the Visual Studio scaffolding process is very useful, it can lead to code duplication. We just saw that. This chapter covered more advanced topics using the EF or Entity Framework and ASP.NET MVC, starting with file uploads and adding project-wide constraints. We then showed how to create a unique constraint, add an error, and display friendly error message back to the user. This was followed by allowing multiple file loads. We also covered how to view the SQL. Then we moved on, custom error page, many-to-many relationships. So there was a lot of stuff in here. I'm going to grab this, copy it to the clipboard, get rid of that, and put in this. All right, this chapter covered allowing file uploads and added project-wide constraints. How to allow file uploads and project constraints. How to create a unique constraint. Add an error to the model state in order to catch a database error. And display a friendly error message back to users. Okay, that should be 3. Allow multiple file uploads and Sorry, this is taking a while here. So there was a lot covered in this chapter, as you can see. All right, that's everything, but I'm going to have to probably pretty this up quite a bit. Still is giving me that doggone it. I'm going to have to fix that. I will in just a bit. Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a picture of that page. There we go. Now I'm going to stop the run. I'm going to stop the run here. Just wish I'd have left that alone, and I didn't. Go to my Team Explorer, Changes, come in here, put in my, well, I guess it lost it, but let's see. That's pretty big. Okay, that should be everything. So see it completed and commit all. Refresh this page. There is our chapter 6 completed. All right, so that's everything for the first 6 chapters. When I come back for the next chapter, I will be going over chapter 7, and I will be back with that fairly shortly.